Well, let's first talk about spatial thinking. Spatial thinking has been identified as one of the critical skills for problem solving, both for adults and kids. Spatial thinking should be a focus on K-12 education. This has been one of the strongest push from the national level, encouraging preparations in this kind of skill. Before we talk about spatial thinking, let's talk about critical thinking in general. Then we can talk about what is special about spatial thinking. Critical thinking has a number of pieces. First, there's one kind of emphasis is on thinking in language, which is abstract and is very different from spatial thinking. And thinking language also indicating use of logic. The second aspect is making argument. Or if you have an argument, how can you analyze the component of the argument and be able to understand where you take from there. And third aspect is about thinking as a hypothesis testing, where you take the hypothesis and collect evidences. Okay? And third kind of thinking is to practice thinking in case of uncertainty, when the data is incomplete or the knowledge is not adequate. Okay, and the last kind of thinking is about problem solving and decision making, where you do have to decide what to do. Now let's turn over to the kind of spatial thinking we talk about. Okay? Thinking critically in space means a number of things. First, we need to have a skill of using maps and geographical representations, maybe supported by technology, to communicate some ideas to others. And second point we want to make is that spatial thinking emphasizes the ability for us to mentally organize information about places, environment, especially the context we live in. And the third aspect of spatial thinking is about the way we analyze information, trying to make sense of what's going on, or connect things by space. Okay? If things are co-located, they are more likely to be together or associated with. Okay? So space does provide another kind of reasoning rules for us to understand it. Okay? And the last we talk about is using spatial structures to derive solutions to problems. And this is one of the most important aspects of geovisual analytics.